I'm Sabrina Torres.
And I'm Sophie. Today we'll be discussing two major issues, the GI and the government.
The GIs, are standing for Government Issue, are those found within the U.S. Air Force as well as Army.
However, this term now refers to any U.S. soldiers who are drafted by the Selective Service System, and this system basically enlists all men ages 18 to 25 across the nation.
Additionally, we'll be discussing the government and its involvement in the production, the economy, as well as communication.
After the break, we'll be discussing more about who the GIs are and what they do.
Hey, glad you could join me.
Thanks. After serving as a GI, my days have been going by pretty smoothly with the Bill of Rights.
That's great. I started my own bakery business, and more customers come every day. Without the low interest loans, I wouldn't have been able to start my business, and I would have been homeless.
When I was 16, I had to drop out of school to get a job to support myself. Now, with being a GI, I get to attend school again. There's no cash I have to pay, there's no expenses. Everything is free, and I learned so much.
Wow. Okay, I'm so busy. I gotta go now. Have fun. I hope you have fun learning.
Thanks. I love being a GI.
Hello, I'm here with a GI from the 36th Infantry of the Marines. She has recently returned from overseas after fighting in the invasion of Normandy. Now, miss, can you tell me exactly what a GI is?
GI are World War II servicemen. We get our nickname from government issue or GI clothing and equipment that we are issued. Now, many of us always have to be prepared for combat duty, but a lot of us pursue other vocations such as higher officer training, foreign language studies, and even healthcare.
Now, what is it like being a GI?
It's a mixture of stress and boredom. There are over 6 million volunteers, and 10 million of us were drafted after Pearl Harbor. We're considered some of the best equipped soldiers in the world, but the transition from civilian to military life is rather shocking.
Now, is your life filled with fighting and action, or do you still do everyday activities as well?
We do a lot of chores, sometimes mopping, washing laundry, mending uniforms, dishwashing, and taking out the trash. We live in schools and other quickly converted structures from the towns that we're serving in, but sometimes life can be rather monotonous.
Now, do many GIs experience homesickness?
Oh, all the time. I know all of us boys overseas love looking for letters in the mail from our families. I love writing letters home to my family every night to keep in touch with them.
Now, does serving in a war affect the kind of person that you are?
I think it depends, really. I think every one of us underestimated the brutality and severity of this conflict. Some GIs, they become battle ready and are willing to lay down their lives for this country. Others just want to survive and get back home. And even some get repulsed by the killing, and they'd rather desert the army than participate in the war.
Is there anything you'd like to say to those watching at home?
I've never traveled outside the States. I, like so many of my fellow GIs, are obsessed with getting home. I am honored to serve my country, but this war and what we're fighting for, it's not just about the lives of the French, or the British, or the Filipino. I'm fighting for my loved ones, and I'm fighting for home.
Thank you for your time and your service to our country. Now I'll return to breaking news right after this short commercial break.
Not all of us can help storm Normandy Beach or help Doolittle raid Tokyo, but there's still a way all of us can fight. I'm talking about war bonds. Every bond you buy is a bullet in the barrel of your best guy's gun. We all know it's about help winning the war. America has to produce supplies for our boys and our allies across the sea. We're gonna make Germany think twice of trying to drop the bomb on us. Now, how many of you are ready to help me sock old Adolf Hitler in the jaw?
Welcome to the Found Generation. The U.S. government has been playing a large role in U.S. production, communication, and the economy. This was done to support soldiers fighting in the front lines. Many American farmers and workers are trying to produce enough food as well as equipment.
Breaking news, it has been recently released that President Roosevelt has announced unheard of production goals, including 60,000 airplanes, 45,000 tanks, 20,000 anti-aircraft guns, and 8 tons of merchant shipping. He has created the War Production Board in order to make those everyday material producers into ones that support the war effort. Remember those model trains that you used to use? Well, now they're making bomb fuses. Well, those kitchen sink assembly lines? Well, now they're making cartridge cases. Need a car? The production is now turned to that for the use of trucks and tanks. Additionally, Roosevelt has stated that we must also carefully ration all materials that are necessary for the war effort. This is because those are dangerously short supply. Roosevelt has also taken measures to mediate any type of labor disputes. This has been through the creation of the National War Labor Board, which aims to settle these disputes through mediation and arbitration. The board has also worked to have more equality in the increases of the cost of living.
Congress has also passed the Smith-Connolly War Labor Disputes Act, requiring unions to give 30 days notice before a strike vote, along with authorizing presidents to seize an essential industry where production was interrupted by work strikes, making it a federal crime to initiate or assist in government-operated plants. Recently, Roosevelt took control of the railroads as a preventive measure in correlation to strikes by railway workers. We also have to pay for this, so recently, government has been borrowing from U.S. citizens as well as raising our taxes. We reached a high of 94%, and they've done this all through war bonds from banks and from corporations. How do they pay for these bonds, you ask? Well, with consent, there has been regular deductions from paychecks to pay for war bonds. They've also used endorsement of celebrities to further encourage the support of the war effort. But I mean, it's helpful. This has helped safeguard against inflation, and with the employment rate high, more Americans have more to spend.
Roosevelt's actions haven't yet ended yet. He's also established the Office of Price Administration to help control inflation. He's now required set prices, such as instituted rent control. The OPA has also created a new system of rationing products, with the consumer now being given specific number of coupon books as well as stamps. Another way we are working to avoid inflation.
At the end of the day, Roosevelt has been working hard to protect our nation. He has also created the Office of Censorship, which censors all the communications between the U.S. of A. and other nations, as well as all the soldiers and their loved ones. And also, even the lovely news station, the Newfound Generation, has agreed to censorship.
But as well, just understand that it's all in good nature. It's our job to keep you up to date on everything that's happening within the war. However, there's also been the creation of Office of War Information. It's meant to keep you up to date on anything and everything happening. And at the end of the day, just remember to keep tuning in and find out more. I'm Sabrina.
And I'm Sophie, signing off from the Found Generation.